On April 7th of this year, the CW premiered its reimagining of the series Kung Fu. I feel like this is a misstep, and if you saw the title of this video, you know exactly why. I'm Antonio Ache, and this is ComRom. Okay, so first of all, kudos to the CW for taking the Kung Fu title and redoing it sans the appropriation. Not to disparage the dead, but David Carradine and everyone else involved in the originals really should have known better. In this age where we're getting representation right, the CW is going in the proper direction. Good job, team. But even though the initial series and its eventual spin-off went no less than 3 seasons, I don't feel like this current gen version can coast on the premise of solely kicking butt in the city without something more to it. And I know they put some magic and everything in it, but I want to see a series like this do as well as it could. My idea for how they could get the desired effect, but with a much better storyline and characters while keeping the family element they added to this one, is to have a live-action reimagining of the hit animated series, The Jackie Chan Adventures. For anyone who doesn't remember, the Jackie Chan Adventures show followed Jackie as an archaeologist who stumbled upon some ancient relics that held major importance and had legitimate magical powers, and all of the hijinks that ensued for his family afterwards. The show as a whole is great, so feel free to catch up on the entire series either by buying the DVDs or watching it on Amazon. The premise really sells itself, but right now I think we need to talk casting. By the way, if you disagree with any of the choices that I have on this list, feel free to let us know in the comments. For the title character, I'm thinking someone who can obviously do the physicality of this role, while also being no stranger to humor. Because this show will be best served if it doesn't take itself too seriously. So for Jackie, I'm picturing someone like Harry Shum Jr., having previously been a dancer and starring in Glee, Shadowhunters, and the Crouching Tiger sequel, he'll be at home with the acrobatic, humorous, and magical elements of all of it. For the supportive, traditional, and strict character that he is, while also bringing that old school, badass, could probably still you up energy, I'm thinking Sammo Hung to take on the role of Uncle Chan. My idea for the casting of Jade would be Kathy Ong from Netflix's Over the Moon. She's a promising young actress who can properly exhibit the joyful, almost unending energy that is necessary to play Jackie's niece. Another character on the list would be that of Captain Black. For him, I picked either Nathan Owens or, Boris Kojo. Real talk, I just went for good looking and bald on this one, but also, these actors that I chose can keep the stoic demeanor of the character while not being too scary. Like the character. Next, and this is probably the second most difficult casting, is El Toro Fuerte. For this physically imposing yet highly entertaining character, I'm leaning towards either Mauricio Mejia Torres, no, not the actor from the novelas, no, I'm talking about the one who plays the Thanos-inspired luchador from Marvel's Lucha Libre, and if not him, then possibly Sergio Perez-Mencheta, who currently plays Gustavo Eloso Zapata in FX's hit series Snowfall. By the way, if you haven't caught that, check it out, it's good. And of course, you can't have El Toro Fuerte without his faithful fanatico Paco, or in this case, maybe Flaca. I don't know. If you have a good idea for a name for her, put it in the comments. The only one I thought of to capture this youthful exuberance and idyllic look at an icon is Allegra Acosta. The next big character who popped up from time to time was Viper. And the main lady who I envisioned for this casting would bring the sultry and sneaky, yet you can't help but ship her and Jackie together vibes, and that is the one and only Miss Summer Bishel. On the villain side of things, we get our second change of pace with my casting of Valmont. I'm imagining Lucy Punch, who regularly gives sophisticated yet easy to hate characters, which fits Valmont to a T. The last main character I didn't pick because I thought it would be fun to see who you all would cast. So think outside the box and type inside the box for the comments who you would pick to fill the shoes of the larger-than-life Toru. Considering the choices I've made so far, your selection does not have to be super on the nose, but I definitely want to see what it is. As the seasons progress, they can introduce later characters like Hak Fu and Da Long Wong, who, if I had to cast them, would be played by, Jason Scott Lee and Michelle Yeoh, respectively. Honestly, I would lose my if Uncle and Da Long had a semi-magical, semi-physical fight at some point, and could you see them going at... Calm down. It's not even a real thing yet.
Dial it back, Luther, damn.
So obviously they could use unknown actors to fill the ranks of the hench people, and of course we could have cameos from all the people of the original cast. From there, the only concern is how to showcase the second focus of the show. The magical aspect and the talismans alone would make for an incredibly interesting watch without straining a special effects budget too strenuously. I mean, if the CW can make Legends of Tomorrow work, then a little levitation or invisibility should be a cakewalk. The 12 talismans represent a different year of the Chinese zodiac, and each possessed a unique magical ability. The Rat Talisman brought motion to the motionless, giving inanimate objects autonomy and even a personality acquainted with its individual identity. The Ox Talisman would imbue its wearer with incredible strength. The Tiger Talisman created balance in its user by splitting their proverbial yin and yang selves. The Rabbit Talisman gifted its user with super speed. The Dragon Talisman granted the power of combustion, allowing its user to expel explosive bursts of energy from the talisman itself. The Snake Talisman gave its holder the power of invisibility. The Horse Talisman brought about the ability to heal from almost any wound. The Sheep Talisman made its user or users able to astral project. The Monkey Talisman gave its wielder the power to shapeshift themselves or others. The Rooster Talisman allowed its user to levitate themselves or other objects, which appeared similar to telekinesis. The Dog Talisman provided youthful energy to its wearer and went as far as to grant eternal life. And finally, the Pig Talisman, which gave its user Superman-style heat vision. Those 12 talisman and all the previously listed characters would provide the show with many different avenues to showcase martial arts and magic in an entertaining way that I personally feel has more lasting power than simply kung fu to take down criminals in San Francisco. I mean, obviously, I wish the show the best. I already tuned into the first episode, but I'd hate to see another well-intentioned show centered around martial arts go the way of Netflix's Iron Fist. So if any of you have thought similarly to me and would really love there to be a live-action Jackie Chan show, go ahead and give this video a like. If you haven't yet, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss anything that we have coming. We have a lot of things that we're going to cover, random and otherwise.
One more thing!
Until the next time that I'm so consumed with the necessity for nostalgia that I spend way too long fan casting, I've been Antonio Ache, and this has been ComRom, where we do nerdy reviews with the occasional booze.